In this video, you're going to see the importance of understanding the fundamentals after post-NFP. We don't gamble right after NFP. We wait until afterwards. Let's get right to it. Good morning, YouTubers. It's your boy back with another live trading video. Today, we're doing NFP, the breakdown. Let's see what happens first. As I've talked about in previous NFP videos, we actually wait for the actual move to happen, which is happening right now. I'm assuming that numbers came in a little bit worse than expected for the dollar. We're going to wait a couple of moments for Forex Factory, Financial Juice, and all that stuff to load before we actually make a decision on what play we're going to use today. For those of you who don't know, and if this is your first time watching, I'm ForexFundys.
I'm a fun guy.
I'm a trader who trades the technical and the fundamental stuff. I also have developed some NFP and CPI plays which are available at ForexFundys.com. You don't even have to be a premium member. These are also available as PDFs for free members as well. So go check out that link in the description down below. Now the stuff that you don't have access to as a free member is the ForexFundys indicator over here, which has been showing USD weakness for the last week or so. And this updates hourly. So the NFP won't reflect in this, but this is what we're looking like right now, and it looks pretty accurate because look at around here is when we started shifting on the US dollar and on the fundies, but there have been no plays according to my plan. This is on the US dollar in general, so look at this, look at the NZD, look at Euro, look at AUD, and look at USDCAD. Unfortunately, I was looking at a potential swing trade short from out of this position, and I just never took anything. I probably should have taken this one right here. Been looking to short US dollar and the Swiss franc as well. The Swiss franc has been consistently sitting at a -3. JPY we're avoiding just because. But yeah, look at this on AUD CHF. You'd be pretty high in profit right now. This did not look clean. Euro CHF. There's no actual plays within there that you could have taken, in my opinion, off of a swing trade. Great Britain Pound CHF. There's nothing really that you could have taken, so price just moved up. No actual clean setups, which is completely okay. Ooh, these numbers are pretty poor. Okay, so like I said, it's going to be worse for the US dollar most likely, and here is what we're seeing. So the last NFP number got revised from 57K down to 20K, and these numbers were expected to be at 85K. Guess what? Negative 23K. This is bad for the US dollar. Average hourly earnings. Now this is a little bit bad for the US dollar as well because they're indicating a little bit of a hawkish tone with Fed wash, meaning USD strength, potential rate hikes. With this number here, this 0.1, that can ease a little bit of pressure on inflation right there. And for CAD, we have an increase in numbers, unemployment change increase, so you're going to see a little bit of a stronger CAD most likely, unless tariffs is a big talking point. And then unemployment rate is lower than expected, so that's good for the Canadian dollar. Ideally, if I was looking for a long, I'd probably look for a long continuation. I know some liquidity has been developing, but one of the plays is a continuation play off of the NFP move, in which 116 area could be a good target, and this is what that play would look like. Once again, it's available on ForexFundys, the free version, so it will probably look like this. Fair value gap has to be formed, maybe one more leg. This is an inducement, and then you continue upwards. In my last actual trading video that I posted, a play very similar to this happened on AUD USD following CPI news. It was looking like an insane reversal play, which is one of the other NFP plays, NFP or CPI plays. A+ technical setup, but I just didn't take it, and it ended up being a loss. The fundamentals saved me there. This trade would make more sense on the fundamentals if it was a continuation. And look, see, because CAD had really good news, this is what it's doing right now. Usually I looked forward to NFP days, CPI days so much because I've tested them so often. It doesn't mean that I always catch things on these days. There are days where the just setup doesn't present or they whipsaw, but that means that after 9:30, this is what I'm going to be looking for on NASDAQ. Okay, so on the NASDAQ, what we're going to be looking for is probably a reaction within this area over here on NFP. No, I am not in this trade, but this is a trade that I wanted yesterday because we reacted from this high time frame region. We had this fair value gap. Price just never made it back within the time that I actually trade. Oh, also SP might do the same thing. We'd be looking for the long over here from this region over here. We're going to hope that this remains a fair value gap on the M15. And yeah, we're just going to wait. You see, this is why it's important to have the fundamentals on your side. So NFP on the M1 over here is kind of doing the play. I usually like this play on the M3 or up because M1 could be a little bit deceiving. But this is a continuation model on EU, and let's see it on other currencies in that case too. Here's on GU. If you're shorting this, it looks like you're probably going to be stopped out. AU, and you're seeing a little bit on the weak side today. So if you're looking for a divergence short, maybe these ones are ones that you could look at. NASDAQ is probably going to manipulate lower, maybe take out the NFP low over here, which is what you would always want. You always want the news lows or highs taken before actually taking a trade on NASDAQ. Okay, so now if you're looking for actual sweep reversal play, this looks a little bit cleaner, assuming this closes below over here on the M3. I'm still not going to take this because it doesn't align where I think it's going on the fundamental side of things. Yes, it could probably short on all these currencies, GBP being the strongest obviously. On NASDAQ, I like to wait for the M15 closure. So 9:45, 10 o'clock. I know a lot of people who have way more experience than me will probably take something like this, which is what testing is for. We could just test this out. So you'd probably just market execute right now. Yeah, right now would be a good time to market execute if you're a risky trader. I'm not here yet on NASDAQ at all. And this is why I wait for the M15 closure rather than the risky entries. I've seen this start to play out recently, or like right after 9:30 open. I still don't have enough experience with it. I want to wait for the long over here. And that's why I said I want to stick with the fundamentals on the fundamental side of things. So look at this, look at GBP USD over here, look at Euro USD, you'd probably be in drawdown. Even Aussie and New Zealand USD showing some weakness again. In this video that I got a whopping 11 views. I showed how the fundamentals saved me from this loss. And once again, it would have saved me over here, at least on GBP USD, had I taken this. This was almost an A+ setup for the post-NFP or CPI short. I'm going to wait for the 10 o'clock closure. I would want this fair value gap, the initial down one from 9 o'clock to 9:15, close through. Okay, so that right there is why we wait for the M15 closure. I wanted the closure above this region kind of rejected. Now we have swept the NFP low, so it's possible that we could get a movement from here. I would like it from here though. Ideally, it would be nice if it long from there. I'd be even okay with an M5 like proper move upwards, overtaking this. Okay, we have hit the region that I talked about a little bit earlier, this fair value gap on the 1 hour, and now it's just a waiting game. So if this pops up like this, an M5, and closes through here, then I'm okay to take this, which would coincide with a 10:15 rejection of this 1 hour, assuming this happens soon. Now, all the people who trade on the M3, this is probably looking very promising right now. I hear a bunch of people talking about V-shaped recovery. Shout out Marcus if you're watching this. If you traded without breaks of structure or anything like that, you'd probably enter right here off of a risky setup in my eyes. But again, I don't have the experience that other people would have. I'm not taking this, but this could be a high RR one if you did get it right off of here, off of the M1 breakout structure and mini fair value gap. We're going to label this for anyone who might skip past this video, just to be an honest trader in the game. Is it a test? Not real. I will wait for 10:30. Or not necessarily 10:30, but if we get M5 closure above here, then I'm interested. Something like this is something I'd love for this trade. A little cause for concern that the S&P 500 already took these highs over here, whereas NASDAQ is failing just a little bit. This indicates there's a little bit of a divergence with NASDAQ behaving just a little bit weaker. So we just got into the zone which we need an M1 reaction out of. I would assume a little push up, sweep, then the real break, and then our stop loss doesn't have to be here. Okay, we've basically done what I did say that I wanted to see, so I've gotten in. When we take a look at this on the M15, you're seeing kind of like a little bit of a staircase down, but I see this as a buildup of liquidity on the buy side over here. So that's why my target is just over here, but we could also keep rolling stop loss in case it keeps going up. On the M5, you can see that this candle held everything. We had our M1 breakout structure within. Because it is Friday post NFP, I have moved my stop loss to break even because on the M1, which is what this base structure was based out of, we have made a little bit of a dip and then a higher high over here. And ES also swept this. So in the event that ES sweeps this, there's a chance that this could go down. Same as NASDAQ sweeping this. This could come down. Price looks like it's actually finally breaking to the upside. Obviously, NASDAQ is a little bit weaker than S&P 500 is. Now, what I'll do is, in the event that NASDAQ sweeps past this little point right here, which started causing the rejection, I'm just going to move my stop loss to about 1%, so around this region here just to bank something because it's Friday, right? Can't be too greedy. So we rolled it to the 1% right there, where I talked about the 695 area. And from here, it's just whether price wants to make it up to take profit or take us out. Nonetheless, we're grateful for this trade because it did everything we talked about. We talked about the rejection over here. We almost died. I thought this was going to be a 2-minute long death.
Oh my god, I almost died! No. I almost died! That was so scary, thank you!
And we somehow managed to survive. And we're very, very close. I guess this is a little lesson on greed right here. We are so close to our take profit over here. Could I have closed it? Man, look at how much momentum we had to the upside though. This was crazy momentum on the upside. Obviously S&P took the high, but it looks like instead of the 1.8% or 1.9%, we're gonna get stopped out at 1%.
Because we're up about 1.75%, I'm just going to close it. I don't want to give up 1.75% to try making 2% or 2.1%. I'm happy with 1.75%. We were 3 pips away. So realistically, I closed out right there. Closed out before hitting the actual TP, but again, I'm super happy with 1.75%. I woke up with 0. It looks like price is heading to TP, but once again, I'm not looking to risk 1.75% and go break even just to make that extra 0.25%. We're almost 90% there anyways.
Yeah, once again, it got pushed up and then now it's crumbling. I might just cut this. The reason being, oh, well, it hit my 1R anyways. I didn't cut it, it just did it itself. I was just saying that it was building so much liquidity over here. Grateful for 1%. I know it could have been 1.9, unfortunately. I just saw so much momentum to the upside that I thought we were 10 pips away from our take profit. In my eyes, price was more likely to hit that than come back. Once again, still grateful. Trade did exactly what I thought it would, almost to the point of TP. And there's your lesson on greed over there. Hope you've enjoyed the video and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.